Harsh Panchal, Assistant Professor in Chemical Engineering Department of LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. In this video, I will be discussing about the second most useful form of non-conventional energy, and that is wind energy. So let's get started. Over-dependency of mankind on the fossil fuel or conventional source of energy such as coal, oil and natural gas has created threat that they will be depleted or run out by next 60 or so years. Not only that, but the continuous use of this fossil fuel creates pollution effect on our atmosphere and it contributes to the climate change. It is believed that by next 40 or 50 years, the all energy supply will be made up by either solar energy or wind energy. So it is necessary to understand how we can convert this wind energy into more useful form of energy. But before understanding that, let's understand how and why wind flows. We have already covered this part in an introduction section, but let's revise it and brush up our knowledge. To understand this, consider this image in which area 1 is not receiving any solar radiation. That means it is under the shadow, while area 2 is receiving solar energy. Hence, air above the area 2 will get heated up and it will travel upwards. This creates lower pressure zone in area 2 and relatively higher pressure zone is created in area 1. We very well know that fluid flows from higher pressure to lower pressure, causing wind to flow from area 1 to area 2. Because of unequal solar absorptivity of water and land creates wind effect more significantly at ocean. During a daylight, surface gets heated up more rapidly compared to the ocean. Hence, lower pressure zone is created on the surface, causing wind to flow from ocean to the land. And during night time, this airflow is reversed because land cool at much faster rate compared to the water. Hence, wind flow from land to the ocean. Wind speed varies depending on geography, topography and season. This is why some locations are better suited for the wind energy conversion system and others are not that much suitable for this. Average high wind speed is observed near hilly or a coastal area. Wind also blows at greater strength over surface of water bodies where drag forces are less. It is a fact that wind speed increases with height. By increment of 10 meters above the ground, wind speed increases by 20 to 25%. If we go 60 meters above the land, wind speed increase by 30 to 60% that of the surface. Now, let's move to the next section, and that is site selection for wind energy conversion system. This is by far most important question for exam point of view. So let's see one by one these criteria. First criteria is that high annual average wind speed. The wind velocity is critical parameter for successful of wind energy conversion system. Wind power is highly dependent on a wind speed as PW, that is wind power, is equal to K into V raised to 3, where V is the velocity of wind, that is small increment in wind velocity increase the wind power by cube. If wind speed is doubled, then wind power increased by the factor 8. Hence, it is desirable to select a site for wind energy conversion system with higher wind speed. Now let's move to the next point, and that is availability of anemometry data. This anemometry data is basically measurement of wind speed. Basically, this data determines the output power of wind energy conversion system. There are many difficulties to measure wind speed and pressure of wind, such as the height of manometer above the ground, temperature effect, shading effect, accuracy. The location where wind energy conversion system is proposed to build should have precise anemometry data. Now let's move to the next criteria, and that is availability of wind curve. Wind curve determines the maximum power of wind. Hence, it is a principal controlling factor for the success of wind energy conversion system. This curve also predicts the electrical output of wind energy conversion system and revenue generated by it. So it is desirable to have average wind speed of 12 to 16 kilometers per hour, which is also the limiting speed for many operating wind energy conversion system. Now let's move to the next criteria, and that is wind structure at proposed site. The ideal case for wind energy conversion is a site which has flat wind curve. That means wind flow smoothly and more steadily at that site. But in actual practice, we always get less than ideal case. That is, wind near the ground is turbulent in nature and it changes direction and speed more frequently. This departure from ideality is known as the wind structure. So now let's move to the next criteria for the site selection, and that is the altitude of proposed site. It is very well known fact that the wind tends to have a higher velocity at higher altitude. Altitude affects the density of air and the power in the wind, and ultimately it affects the electrical output of wind energy conversion system. In this image, we can see that 160 meter heighted windmill produces 7 megawatt of electricity, while 220 meter heighted windmill produces roughly around 9 megawatt of electricity. So it is desirable to have an site for wind energy conversion system at a higher altitude. Now let's move to the next criteria for selecting a site for wind energy conversion system, and that is local ecology. Trees, grass and vegetable present in near to the site destructure the wind. That means it causes higher height for the turbine hub, which ultimately increases the total cost of wind energy conversion system. While bare rocks or water surface, such here in the image, has no such effect, they do not destructure the wind, and hence lower heighted hub is required. That reduces the total cost of wind energy conversion system. Hence it is desirable to set a plant near the water body or where bare rocks are available. Now let's move to the next criteria, that is distance to road and railways. Since wind energy conversion system involves very bulky and heavy equipments that need to be transported at proposed site. Hence, it is desirable to have a site near to the road and railways. Now, next criteria is nearness of site to local user. Wind energy conversion system should be near to the user so that we can reduce the transmission line and reduces the losses in the transmission. Now, let's move to the next criteria, and that is nature of ground. Ground condition should be stable so that it can secure the foundation of wind energy conversion system. Not only that, there should be no erosion to the structure of wind energy conversion system because of land, as it could destroy the wind energy conversion system. Now, let's move to the last criteria for site selection of wind energy conversion system, and that is favorable cost of land. Since total cost of wind energy conversion system depends largely on cost of land, hence it is desirable to have a favorable low land cost. And this concludes the all criteria for site selection of an wind energy conversion system. Thank you.